see you again in the dark side.
Alright guys, so in this episode we're going to be dealing with the Mossberg 500 bolt. We're going to be completely stripping it down, taking out all the parts so we can clean it, inspect them, make sure nothing is worn out or broken, and lube it up. Before I reassemble, I'm going to polish up the sides, pretty much polish up everything just so everything is smooth and it looks nicer for the build. And I might have something engraved on this side, that's why I want to polish it up. So we'll see. So let's get to it. If you notice, this is the right hand extractor. When you go to reassemble, the best way to know which side is which is on the bottom. You see that little bright cut right there? That's a chamfer that goes facing down. So when you go to reassemble, make sure that your chamfer is facing down so you know which one is right from left. What, we're just gonna clean it that way because that locking block pin looks like it's gonna be a pain in the ass to get out, so I'm not going to take that out. Not necessary. I can clean easily both sides by just rotating it. So that's as far as we're gonna take it, and let's clean up a little bit. So now it's time to clean these parts, degrease them, get all that dried up oil off of them. So I have my Ultrasonic Cleaner right here. I have it with a solution of 6 parts water to 1 part Simple Green. I find this pretty much dissolves all the old grease and oils from the parts, and it leaves everything basically bone dry. So you do have to lube everything up when you take it out of the bath. I'm gonna put all the parts into the Simple Green, and this machine normally runs some really short cycles, so I normally run it for 4 cycles to get it really well cleaned. And I flip the parts around halfway through, so let's set the first round. And just let it run. Alright guys, so a little status update. I had to bring it down to some 240 grit in order to level out the surface of the bolt on the side that I wanted to polish, because it's uneven due to factory machining. It's not really made to be even in the factory, so I decided to go with 240 first, just to make everything straight and flat, and then work up my grits to eliminate the scratches from the previous grit and get it to a nice polish. So this is 240. I'm going to continue up the grits now. Alright guys, so I polished up to 2000 grit and it looks good, but I just want to get those fine scratches off. So what I'm going to do is get my rotary tool with a felt bob, and I'm going to use some of this Brownell's polish array. This is the 555, the gray, just to get rid of some of those fine scratches and leave a higher polish on it. So we finished polishing the parts, and I just want to run it 2 cycles through the Ultrasonic Cleaner just to get any of that polishing residue off of the parts and any slurry that was created from the polishing on the wet and dry sandpaper, just to get it out of all the crevices before we oil and reassemble all the parts. Alright guys, so we have cleaned our bolt, we have polished it. Now we just gotta lube it and reassemble everything. So I'm gonna use some Q-tips and a little bit of gun oil, and I'm gonna lube all the parts and reassemble. I'll speed this up because I know nobody really wants to see this process. I'm pretty sure you guys have done it yourselves a bunch of times, but I'll save you guys the time by speeding this up a little bit. Alright, so we have our parts lubricated, and now it's time for reassembly. So let's start off by putting in my extractors. Alright. So what I'm gonna do to align the pin is I'll use a punch, same one I used to take it out, just to hold it in place so I can push the retaining pin through. Now if you notice on these pins, they have like little score marks on the side where they deform the metal to make it a little bit thicker on that end. So we want to do the reverse process of when we took it out. We took it out from the bottom up, and now we're gonna put it from the top down. So take a little bit of pressure off of our punch
and we are going to push our pin through to get started, and then we're going to drive it the rest of the way home. Alright, so we have our extractors in. Now, the purpose of the chamfers at the bottom of the extractors is very simple. Let me get a dummy out for you guys so I can better explain this. Alright, so the purpose of the chamfers is when the round goes into the chamber, the bolt goes right behind it following. Alright, so the bolt goes right behind the shotgun shell, and as it follows, it engages the back of the shotgun shell. Now imagine when it's riding into the chamber, this basically hits around this area. As it does so, the chamfer just helps it pretty much move the extractor out of the way to push it into the bolt face. Hope that made sense for you guys, but that's basically the purpose of those chamfers, to guide the round into the bolt face. Now moving on, we have our firing pin, washer, and spring. So these two parts need to go together at the back of the bolt. Alright, so best method is they have to go in together. Now, gonna get a little bit of oil. And I'm gonna try to maneuver these two together into place. Alright, so we got our spring into place. So what makes it easier for you guys at home, just to, you know, for when you guys decide to do it, if you decide to do it, you put the washer down. You want to stand up the bolt, put the washer down on the edge, lay your spring on top, and then push it inwards. You guide it all the way in. I mean, it's harder for you guys to see on camera, but I will do it just so you guys have a clear idea of what I'm talking about. Alright, so you get the bolt, lay your washer on the edge, okay? Then you want to stick a finger to the backside just to keep the washer from walking out past where the spring is being guided. Get your spring, compress it over the washer, push the spring in, and then guide the whole assembly towards the hole. Okay, so just guide it through, boom, boom, and now we can insert our firing pin. As you can see, and we can insert our pin. Get our pin. Make sure the notches are facing up. Alright. Push it down. Now we're gonna take it the rest of the way home. And take out our flat punch again. Get one a little bit oversized so you have more purchase. And that is about right there. It's flush. And our bolt is completely assembled. Alright guys, so that's pretty much it for this video. We finished doing everything that we needed to do to this bolt. We polished it up, made it look pretty. Next video we're going to be working on the trigger assembly. We're going to be breaking it down, cleaning it, doing a few little modifications. I do want to bring down the trigger pull weight on it just to make it a little bit lighter, more comfortable for me. I'm gonna oil it. I'm going to radius this trigger a little bit more just to get rid of some of those sharp edges and just make it a little bit more comfortable. And maybe even install a over travel stop. I think that'll be nice to have on this. Make the trigger feel a lot cleaner. So yeah, that is our next project on this mini series on the Mossberg 500 project. And as always, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't done so already, please hit the subscribe button so you can keep up to date on all the videos that we release. And as always, I'll drop a link down in the description box of all the tools that we used in this video in case you guys are interested where to find them. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.